Welcome back to Travel Show Live. We actually have a real celebrity with us today. We're very excited about that. Bill, do you know who that is?
Or no, I don't.
Okay, good.
You might have gone overboard.
We're still looking for it. This is Bill Geist. You've seen him on CBS for years and years and years. Thanks, Bill, for coming and hanging out with us.
It was no trouble at all to get out here in the middle of Lake Huron or wherever we are.
We insist on doing all interviews with celebrities in the middle of the largest body of water we could find.
You would get better guests if you.
That's true. If we did it on land
or New York or something.
That's a good point. We'll have to.
It's just a
we'll include that in the meeting. Yeah. All right. Very good. Now you've been traveling all over the world, especially all over the United States over the last 22 years. What have you learned thus far?
I've learned, unfortunately, what I've learned is kind of dull, and that is that generalizations about people never seem quite right. I mean,
that's interesting.
I mean, there are different places all over the country, as you know, that you travel to. We were talking about Mississippi and wherever you go. I mean, you can go. You were in Butte, Montana. I think you mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you find interesting things everywhere, and that people are essentially all the same and want the same things out of life and so on. But thank God for you and me.
Yes.
They're quite different. I mean, Cajun country, or in Maine, or California, or Oregon. You know, it's just the diversity is wonderful.
When you set out to write, because what is it, 7 books or 6?
Seven.
When you set out to write these, and you started to see a little bit of a pattern emerging about small town America, how did that come about a little bit?
Well, I wrote a book about my 20 years. Then I was 20 years on the road, a book called Way Off the Road. And I just started writing the stories that I liked the best. And I wasn't even aware that I was drawn so much to small towns, but they all kind of turned out to be small town stories, like the one this morning about the Standstill Parade.
I was going to say, did it occur to you at that time that why is it that it is about small towns as opposed to the Las Vegases and the New Yorks and the Chicagos of the world?
I think it's because there's so many other people doing those things already. That the news is kind of out with these people that are totally uncovered, and people like it. I mean, we have a lot of people doing art stories for the Sunday morning show or politics stories, Washington, New York, and occasionally LA, but the rest of the country is, and it's vast, is virtually uncovered by national media.
I suppose that's true. Is travel good for you? If you don't mind me
broadening. No, it is. I enjoy being everywhere that I wind up, and the people and everything, but getting there, of course, is no longer half the fun.
Yeah, I noticed.
If you fly.
We were chatting about that. If you have to use the airlines, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, the security and just the lateness and the way they treat you on airlines these days. We were talking this morning about charging extra for baggage, for leg room.
Right.
And there's one in Europe, I can't remember the name of it right now. It's not going to charge you for trips to the restroom.
Using the restroom. Yeah, we've talked about that. That's right.
Must be fun to be that person who counts the number of times.
But you do wonder, will the liquor sales go down? They charge you to use the restroom. I don't know.
Maybe the hard liquor will go up, and beer, the volume
will go down.
Yeah,
right. I suppose that's true. Any favorites in your travels? You personally?
Well, favorite places?
Yeah.
No, actually, I'd like a place that's very distinct. As I say, like Cajun country, where it has its own music and food and all that. But there are tons of others. Maine, North Carolina. There are lots of North Carolina people on this cruise.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fun place, and I just no real favorites.
When people sit down, when you sit down to dinner and they say, "Oh, Bill, where have you been? What story do you like to tell the most?"
Well,
I'm always curious, because when you do it long enough, I mean, there's got to be a lot of repetition in your job. I mean, without making it sound too, formulaic. But I mean, you get on the plane, you pack your bags, you get off at a place, you got to find the story, write the story, get it out. It does become a little, it becomes a job from time to time.
It does become a job from time to time, but as you know, when you meet that person, it's usually a person that has to do with, or some just outrageous thing like. I guess the one that we showed this morning, the piece on the Standstill Parade.
I love that idea.
Where the guy, where the town's too small to have a real parade, so the people walk around.
They just walk around.
They walk around the parade.
How will they know when the parade's over? When the displays get up and just leave.
Exactly. Or the 92-year-old pilot who delivers his papers by But he's a newspaper publisher, delivers his papers by plane.
And that's the one your wife doesn't like all that much because you almost died going on that story.
Hers was Mike the Headless Chicken.
She didn't like Headless Chicken.
Because it was disgusting.
Bill, thanks for coming and hanging out with us today.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. We'll be right back after this.